did want to tap into this because this was definitely something, at least me, I don't know about you, uh, that I was expecting more of. I remember the British or European, I'll just put a blanket over it. European guys next to us on night two, we were all talking about that the pyro is going to be insane, and it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't. There
Yeah.
was no excessive pyro. There was no, elaborate type of, fireworks show like that. Sup, Remy? There was nothing like that, and it
Mm-hmm.
was actually reported they did that for a reason, that it was part of the budget cuts for Mania. Remy,
Mm-hmm.
did you know that, Remy? Because it's pretty interesting. She did.
um, I do wonder, like, I mean, I get that it was part of the whole Endeavor thing, but I am like a little concerned about it just because this was something that people were mentioning when they were like, okay, UFC and WWE, coming to a partnership, and then there was things about, oh, we're gonna have things on the ring mat, and then there's this and this and that. It felt like they were trying to really introduce a lot of UFC details into WWE, and it's like, no, you want to be in a partnership and benefit from each other, but you also don't want to like implement a bunch of stuff that the other company's doing in your company when there's no need for that. And so I
Mhm.
would just be concerned if they're like trying to get rid of pyro. It's like, but that's a huge differing factor between WWE and UFC, and it's like that's something that they've been doing since the dawn of time, like in wrestling.
Yeah,
So it would be a shame to really not try to utilize that. Like, if you don't want to use a ton of pyro on the weekly shows, sure, but why not use the budget during like at least the big 4 pay-per-views? Like, why
yeah,
would you
a
say
hundred percent.
let's limit pyro at Mania? Like, are you serious? Like,
I
that's odd to me.
I take this as they're utilizing pyro to make stars bigger and not just to have the sake of having pyro. Like, it has to make sense. Like Cody Rhodes, they're not going to limit his pyro.
No.
Rhea Ripley, she has her own little pyro when she does the foot stomp. They're not going to
Mhm.
limit that. And
Yeah.
it's AJ Styles. It's the other one I couldn't think of. He has his pyro. Like, they're not going to limit those guys, but for people that it just doesn't make sense and you have it just to have it for that moment, there's
Mhm.
there's other places that the money could be allocated that it makes more sense. Um, so I get it from that point. I'm at least I'm positive thinking this way, but I don't see it being an issue for them moving forward, like UFC, and trying to make it,
Yeah.
the same in that regard. It's just more use it when it makes sense. Like, I thought it was, I will say that in the moments where you needed pyro at Mania, there was pyro. So
Yeah.
that
There
was
just wasn't any, like, at the
reassuring.
beginning. Like, we thought that there was gonna
That
be,
was
like, to
weird, I
kick
will
off
say.
Mania, we thought there was gonna be some pyro, and there wasn't. So there was just certain instances where we were looking for it, and it wasn't there, but I wouldn't
Mhm.
say it, like, ruined the experience, you know what I
No,
mean? Because it's
not
like
at
we
all.
got the pyro when it felt necessary. It was just weird to not kick off each night with some, like,
It
to
was
be like,
weird.
"It's the start of Mania,"
Yeah, it was very weird. But then Meek Mill popped on the screen. I was like, okay, I'm locked in because,
Mhm.
god damn, it was. Oh, I was pumped after that.